Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back within the community, and I'm Tiffany K. And it's a special day because we get to talk about our hometown hero with Alan and Alan, actually having him in the studio. And of course, we're going to start it off, though, with attorney Emily, who is at Alan and Alan. Emily, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming in as well. And Jason, congratulations on becoming the hometown hero this year.
Thank you. It's quite an honor.
I'm very excited to be able to hear your story in just a few minutes. But before we jump into that, Emily, we talked, a couple months ago about the Hometown Hero program and what it's about. And for those who may have missed it or they need a refresher, I kind of want to go through with you what exactly the Hometown Heroes program is, how did it start, all that jazz.
Absolutely. So this is one of my favorite programs that we do, but to kind of understand why this program got started, I think we have to start with the firm itself. So for those who don't know, Allen & Allen is a personal injury law firm. We're located throughout Virginia. We're in Richmond, Petersburg, Fredericksburg, Mechanicsville, Chesterfield, and we essentially just handle cases where someone has been injured through the fault of somebody else. So that could be a car crash, right, or a premises case, products liability, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, all cases like that. And essentially, our firm was actually founded in 1910, a long time ago. Yep, by the original Allen himself, George Allen. And the important part is that he built his law practice in this firm from the ground up, centered around really 5 core values. That's service, care, compassion, community, and family. So back in 2010, in honor of our firm's 100th year anniversary, like good grief, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, that's a lot of years.
That's a long time. But we introduced this Hometown Heroes program as a way to really recognize individuals in our local communities who were embodying these values and had devoted themselves to improving our communities with service and action. And, in the past, our heroes have included a variety of individuals. We've had veterans, healthcare workers, teachers, first responders, the list goes on. But essentially, they all have one thing in common, and that's a deep desire to help their neighbors, to make the world a better place. And Tiffany, I don't think that there is a more deserving hero than the gentleman that we have here today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jason Tickle. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that review of that, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, maybe I missed out. I didn't remember what that was.
Sure.
So, Jason, we're going to go on to you. We want to know your story. Congratulations, one, on becoming a hometown hero. And let's kind of go into this. I know that you work with Habitat for Humanity, correct?
I do, yes. A little over 11 years now.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Well, what exactly do you do with the charity?
So what I do is I'm the president and CEO. So basically, my main responsibility is to build programs, to bring funding in, and manage my team. And so, very fortunate, I got a great group that works with me, a great board of directors, and we've been very successful in bringing in resources and funding. So ultimately, we can put people in houses.
That's amazing. And for Habitat for Humanity, and a lot of people, hear about that, but they may not know exactly who you are helping in the area. So who do you service? Great
question. So we service what in our region, many people are familiar with the ALICE report from United Way. It stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained Employed. Okay. So these are often the people who fall through our cracks because they make too much to get any help, but they don't make enough to really thrive. So teachers are a great example of this. 40% of the homes we have built have been to either teachers, county staff, or folks like that. 911 dispatchers, restaurant managers, so folks who basically are the glue of our community, who oftentimes cannot really thrive because they've chosen a public servant or a job that is so needed, but it doesn't pay enough. So we can step in and we give people these opportunities to own a home. And what's really crazy, the average American renter is only worth about $5,800, where the average American homeowner is worth over $300,000. So it's such a game changer for working people.
And how did you get involved into the Habitat for Humanity?
So 11 years ago, I was actually at a church going into ministry, and they didn't pay a lot. I needed a job. So the local Fredericksburg Habitat was hiring for a repair and volunteer coordinator. I didn't know a lot about Habitat, honestly. I go in, I apply for the job, I end up getting it. And it turned out I was good at it. And then the more I learned how housing changes people's lives, how it really lifts people out of generational poverty, I was like, this is what I want to do for a living. This is my career. So been doing it ever since, and I absolutely love it.
I love that because it's like you found your calling.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And you can tell how passionate you are just hearing your voice right now. I'm watching your face smile and light up about this whole thing. But that's amazing. And I can see Emily as to why he was picked as a hometown hero.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I think he's being a bit humble. Jason, he came into the Habitat for Humanity in Caroline County, and not only did he dedicate his life to it, I mean, he's essentially revitalized it. I mean, they hadn't built, it's my understanding, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, they hadn't built a home in 10 years until you came on board.
That is correct.
So, I mean, and I think you guys are projecting to build hopefully about 20 houses in the next 2 years alone, right? So this gentleman has not only found his calling and, put aside, the material pursuits that a lot of people would, this day and age especially. And he said, nope, I'm going to do the one thing that I know I'm meant to do, and that's help these vulnerable people in the communities. I mean, he said it, right? We're helping the glue, the people that hold our community together that we would not be able to function without, that are, pretty commonly overlooked or overpassed, for different opportunities. So I think he's, again, being a bit humble. He's done incredible work.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Jason, how did you react when you heard about this?
I was really honored because I've actually nominated people this, and I've worked with people who have won with this award. So I know a lot of people on that list, and the list of Allen Hometown Heroes is really a phenomenal group of people. I think of Mary Beth Rich, who she got nominated several years ago for her work with the Women Build, which I was a part of at the time.
Oh,
and
wow.
just knowing so many people that I respect and admire, it is an honor.
And I'm speaking with Emily Smith, who is an attorney at Allen & Allen, and Jason Tickle, who is the hometown hero with Allen & Allen. Now, Emily, can I ask, how did you guys pick Jason?
Oh my gosh. I'll be honest with you. The actual formula that we, sit down and look at, that is kind of kept pretty close to the chest.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this, every single person that was nominated is clearly doing a lot of work for our communities. But I think the most important part is that we select people that really embody those 5 core values that George Allen built our law firm around, right? That's service, care, compassion, community, and family. And when you think about those words in and of themselves, what they mean in practice and in theory, I mean, this gentleman sitting to my left, I mean, he's absolutely embodying every single one of those values in the work that he's doing. So I think it was a clear pick from my perspective.
I mean, I can see it just from now, and I've just now met you. So
thank you
so much for everything that you do for the community. Now, Jason, I have to ask, how do you think that how are you able to reach out more with the community becoming a hometown hero? Do you think that holds a lot of weight and value?
It definitely does. Recognition from respected organizations and groups validate the work you're doing. And we cannot, perception is reality, right? We cannot escape that. If people think you're doing bad, even if you're doing good, it's hard to break that.
Yep.
It's even harder just to let people know you're doing good. So when we get organizations like Allen & Allen, who are so respected, such a long history recognizing us, people see that and it carries weight. So it really is, it's personally validating, professionally validating, and hopefully I'm really hoping that when donors and funders see this, it just gives another stamp of, this is another group in the community that recognizes the success and that we can provide these services to the community.
And that's a good point to make, is that a lot of times when you get that validation, it does help the company in general. It's not just about, of course, it is about you, but it's not just about you. It's about being able to broaden and expand your business, right?
It is. Just look at the Super Bowl. Just look at the jerseys that are sold. Whoever wins the Super Bowl, they're the ones who are going to sell all the jerseys. We all want to get behind a winner, and so it's just the way it is, So being able to be acknowledged and validated, it really does help. It helps us stand out. It helps us bring in new volunteers. It helps us bring in new donors. I mean, it's just such a good thing what Allen & Allen has done, and it's not just for us. They've a number of organizations. This is going to raise all of us up. And so it's just a phenomenal thing that they're doing for the community.
And Emily, as for Allen & Allen getting behind this, what's the next step for Hometown Hero?
Oh, absolutely. So, and let me ask you this, Jason, are you coming to the the Richmond Nats game on Friday for the...
I will be there,
All
yes.
right. So the next step, since we've selected all of our winners this year, we're going to start celebrating them. That's the whole point of all of this, right? So we're doing, interviews like this to spread awareness of the work they're doing, to give them the credit they deserve. But something I kind of want to throw out there, I think it's important. And one of my favorite parts about this program is that it gives us an opportunity to not only recognize the community, workers that are doing good work, but it lets everybody in the community have an opportunity to know what's going on out there too, right? I mean, we're all busy, we don't always have time to go out there and explore and look around and try to see the good that's happening. There's a lot of bad out there, a lot of distraction. But when you sit down and you have an opportunity to hear people's stories like Jason, see the work that they're doing, I mean, if that's not inspiration to want to get out there and do it yourself, I really don't know what is. So if you guys want to come out, we're going to be celebrating this Friday. So that's July 28th at 6 p.m. at the Fred Nat Stadium and here in Fredericksburg. We're also doing a Flying Squirrels game in Richmond on Thursday, August 18th. And if you guys keep an eye out on our social media pages, it's Alan and Alan on Facebook or alanandalan.com. We will continue to post new events that are going to come up over the summer to celebrate all of our hometown heroes this year. And that sounds like such a fun time, just being able to go and celebrate the work that you've been able to do as well with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I got some friends coming with me, and so we're going to have a good time. And I know like some of the other folks, the Leahys and them, so it'll just be a good time of hanging out with people that I know in the community and just celebration. So it's going to be really fun.
Well, congratulations again, Jason. I'm speaking with Jason Tickle, the hometown hero from Alan and Alan, and Emily Smith is here as well, the attorney. Jason, I do want to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What do you see, what would you like to see happen with Habitat for Humanity in the next 5 years?
So,
because I want to bring awareness to that as well.
Yeah, we want to continue to expand. We serve multiple counties now. But we are very unique. We have a grant that less than 100 organizations in the nation have. Oh, wow. And there's folks in California that are producing hundreds of homes a year with the same thing that we have. And so we're going to be expanding. We're going to be growing into other counties. And we're looking forward to that. So we're going to continue to press on. And we want to be able to produce, 50 homes a year if we can in the next few years.
Well, you've already done a lot in the past 11 years you said that you've been with that, so I'm excited to see where that growth comes from. And Emily, what's in the future for Alan and Alan? Just want to touch on that for a second.
Another 100 years, I suppose.
Yes.
I certainly hope so. And I guess the last thing I want to say about what Jason's doing, and it can be really easy to forget. So for people that own homes or don't have, a secure housing issue, it can be easy to overlook that, right? How fundamental it is to have an affordable place to live, a safe place to live, a place that you can call your own. I mean, affordable housing, it improves the quality of life for everybody in the community in a million ways, right? I mean, health, adequate jobs, financial stability, security, mental health, population diversity, all of that. So, again, the point of this program is to identify, recognize, and celebrate people out there that may not have the exposure that they need, or maybe aren't getting the pats on the back and the encouragement that they deserve because they're flying under the radar, right? And essentially that's exactly what Jason and his program are doing, right? They're identifying these same people, these vulnerable people who are trying to do the best that they can but need a little bit of help. So, we've all got the same goal in mind, and it's just an honor to be sitting here with you, Jason. So congratulations, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations,
Jason.
Thank you. And where can we find any of that information for Hometown Heroes?
Yes, please. If you need a little dose of inspiration, need a smile, go to our website. It's alanandalan.com. You can click the link that will you can read all the bios of our hometown heroes this year. You can also go to Facebook, follow us on Facebook, and we'll get updates about the hometown hero events. And we'll do little spotlights on all of our hometown heroes. So that's a good place to start.
Awesome. And Jason, anything you want to say to Alan and Alan or to the community as well?
Thank you so much to everybody in Alan and Alan, and thank you to the community. I really want to thank the Caroline Board of Supervisors. The last barrier to affordable housing is local government, and we're very fortunate in Caroline. We have their support, and hopefully I'll have it in the other counties we work in as well. Oh, wow. So I want to thank them and thank my board of directors as well.
That's amazing. And Jason, once again, congratulations for all the work that you have done as well. And I need you to plug wherever you want people to follow for Habitat for Humanity. How can they get involved?
Yeah, find us at www.habitatofcaroline.org or at Caroline Habitat on all the socials.
And I'm sure you're always looking for volunteers and anyone can kind of help out in a way.
We're building 4 days a week, so you can sign up, go to that website I mentioned, habitatofcaroline.org. You can register and start to volunteer.
I got to ask, if I can't actually use a hammer, can I still help?
You can. You can. Absolutely. Yes.
I got to make sure because my boyfriend says don't do that. So.
Yeah, I have an amazing site guy who will have you a pro by the end of the day.
Ooh,
I promise you that.
I'll have new skills.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jason. Once again, congratulations. Well deserved on becoming Alan Allen's hometown hero.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, Emily, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you,
Always
Tiffany.
a pleasure.
Always
Love
a
talking
pleasure.
with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.